Yo, so guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel and a brand new series that we're going to be starting on the Formula 1 game. We are going to be starting a driver career mode, and as you can see in the background, we are clearly going to be driving for the Alpine team. Now, this is one of the worst cars, or if not the worst car, in the game. I think in real life too, really. The season they're having is far from ideal, but we're going to be trying to turn it around for them. We're going to be trying to give them a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel and just push this car beyond its limits and further beyond that, and just try and achieve something great and something unimaginable with Pierre Gasly. But let's go to the grid then. Obviously there will be no transfers or anything crazy for season 1. We are going to be running another team. As you can see, we have Connor Motorsport there. Now, to be fair, I'm not actually too sure what engine they run. I was wanting to kind of say that in the video, but I don't actually know. I didn't do my research, so someone is going to have to let me know down in the comments what engine does that car have. So just in case, like for the championship, like the constructors and stuff, like did they contribute? I don't know, but that is the grid then. Everyone looking all rather marvelous, and we are going to be heading then to round 1 in Australia. Beautiful sunny weekend, at least that's what is projected as of now. And you know, the round 1 here at Australia, I do like this track. I'd rather start here than Bahrain, because Bahrain is slightly more tricky track, I would say, for me to drive compared to this one. But here we go then, getting booted up and ready then to get into the car and you know, start pushing this thing and just seeing what we can do. Obviously the objective is to beat Gasly and just kind of just go from there, really. I wouldn't really kind of point out a specific team or anything that we need to beat, because I don't really know where we're at just yet. But yeah guys, let's go then down to the grid with Crofty and see what he has to say.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula 1 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit, 3.28 miles around, with the streets making for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 14 corners around the lake, with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Antonelli, Tsunoda, Albon, Leclerc, and Lance Stroll, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Esteban Ocon, and Lawson, Behrman, the rookie, Pierre Gasly, and Aiden Jackson, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Hülkenberg, and Cali Meyer rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me, bringing glamour and expertise to our commentary today, Naomi Schiff. As much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
Right, here we are then on the grid. As you can see, we're starting P16, just ahead of Pierre Gasly. It was only a matter of a couple thousandths of a second, I believe, between us, which is incredible. So we do manage to, you know, beat our main rival that we have set ourselves here. As we look around, we've got a Haas car there directly in front of us. In terms of strategy, I think because of the car and circumstances and stuff, I think we're just going to go for a 1 stop. I don't think we've got outright pace to be thinking about 2 stops and things like this, but here we go then for the warm-up lap. We have Oscar Piastri then going from pole position on the hard tyre, George Russell in a second on the medium, so that's going to be interesting to look at for turn 1, who's going to get the better out of them two. Norris then in third with Hamilton, both of them on the hards, and then we've got a bunch of medium tyre runners, so we've got a bit of a diverse kind of grid in terms of tyre strategy here. Whether they're all going to be 1 stops or 2 stops or whatever, we don't know. I mean, you can start on a medium tyre and do a 1 stop, you can start on a hard tyre and do a 1 stop, you know, it doesn't mean that you're going to be doing a 2 stop, so we'll have to see how this one pans out. We're going from P16, both me and Gasly are on the hard tyre, so I think we're both going to be looking to do the 1 stop. I think it makes the most sense considering the car performance. So yeah, let's just see how that one goes. We can only go upwards surely from here, so let's see. We've got Connor Motorsport just rounding out the grid, and here we go then as 5 red lights rev up and they are loaded, and it is lights out, and away we go then for the Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri looks like he's got off to a pretty naff kind of start there on the hard tyres, as Russell then slots himself into the lead. Piastri does keep it over Norris. We've managed to get a pretty decent start. We've managed to get a couple positions there on Behrman and I believe Lawson possibly on the hard tyre there, so good start from us. Slot ourselves up into P14 then behind Ocon and Hadjar. We've got Bortoletto then slightly ahead of us too, so they're going side by side, which is going to, oh, good job they backed out. I was going to say that isn't ideal in terms of trying to keep up with that pack slightly ahead of us. You know, I'd rather be in a DRS train, all of us, than us kind of separate into 2 different packs here. But let's see what we can do then. We've got a setup that I think is going to help us out in this Grand Prix a little bit more than what it helped us out in the Quali. I remember we kind of rung low wings, so we should be pretty quick as we go for it up the inside on Ocon. Really close there to sending him off the track pretty much. That was really, really close and aggressive, and Lawson momentarily took advantage of that, but Ocon does manage to get that position back then on the Alpha Tauri or the V-Carb, or you know, whatever they're called, racing balls. I don't really know what the name is of these cars. Toro Rosso, who knows anymore, but we've got one right in front of us here with Hadjar, who is on the hard tyres, so he doesn't have that tyre benefit as we barge into the wall there. Luckily, doesn't seem like we've kind of picked up any damage or anything. We are on sim damage and everything in the simulation, but yeah, luckily nothing seems to have happened there as we get a bit of a wishy-washy of understeer. We just need to kind of compose ourselves and get used to the vibe now behind cars. Obviously throughout the weekend we've been driving in clear air. You don't purposely, you know, like MotoGP, you don't purposely just kind of put yourself behind someone in Formula 1, so we just need to get used to this now and try and just gather where the car is, what we can do and what we can't do when we're behind a car compared to clear air, and just go from there really. But yeah, let's see. We've got DRSs now obviously activated a lap earlier than what we're kind of used to throughout the years with lap 3 and obviously lap 2 now, as we get a really good run here on Hadjar. Unorthodox overtake, and then he just steers himself off the road and makes it look all dramatic and everything. It was a good I mean, don't get me wrong, it was an aggressive overtake and definitely a bit of an argy-bargy one possibly. I just wasn't expecting that run that we got on him, but the fact that he then just steered himself off of the road to make it all look dramatic, that is just not on. But the stewards, I don't even think they were investigating that or anything, so that is okay. I don't think there was anything to be investigated, as again we slightly clipped the wall there with the side of our tyre. But yeah, I am sorry to Hadjar. You know, it's naturally not what you want to do, you know, kind of punt off a rival, but I wouldn't say I punted him off. You know, we made a little bit of contact for sure, but he steered himself off of the road. So a bit of a weird one there from him. Not too sure what that is all about. You will be able to see other camera angles on the social medias like TikTok and stuff, so make sure to check them out. Bortoletto, though, is going to be a little bit of an easier move. Look at that, just fly around the outside of him, unchallenged, easy peasy. Use that curb on the outside, which is risky stuff because you can get a big load of wheel spin and just kind of go spinning off the road. But yeah, we've managed to slow ourselves up into P11, skipping forward now towards the end kind of part, same kind of part of the track really. On lap 4 here, we have closed up to Lance Stroll, so the race pace is feeling pretty decent as we go for the move then on Lance Stroll there. I don't know why he's going pretty slow. It might just be because he is Stroll, but yeah, he doesn't seem to be all that quick. He is on the medium tyre too. It is still early in the score. It's only lap 4, so in theory the medium tyre runners should be faster, you would have thought. It was that kind of part of the stint where it'll flip over to the hard tyres being faster because of the tyre wear and stuff. We haven't quite got there yet, but yeah, skipping ahead on to lap 6 then. Because all of these are battling away and they're just kind of got a little bottleneck here behind the Williams, which I have to say Albon had a whopping quali and a really good opening lap compared to Carlos Sainz, which was further back on the grid. You know, he's done really good things here, and it's helped us out to catch up to this group because obviously we had kind of clear air sort of, and these ones were all battling away. We have brought Lance Stroll with us also as we're trying to capitalize here on Tsunoda battling away with Leclerc. Are we going to get this move done on a Red Bull in our Alpine? This is incredible stuff. We are going to try go for it around the outside into this hairpin. We are going to have the inside line now for this corner, and like I say, the pace right now and the way the car felt on these hard tires in this specific moment in time, the car felt really good, and I felt really like confident and really just fast. It felt like nothing could go wrong, you know. It was a really bizarre feeling because obviously in practice we were lacking any kind of feeling whatsoever, and then the quali was just kind of, it wasn't dreadful in terms of car, like how it felt, but the performance just wasn't there. So yeah, when we came to the race and you know, we kind of got this kind of performance that we're showing right now, I was very surprised, and we could have maybe have gone for the move on Leclerc there. We did get close. If we had burned ERS, we might have just been close enough to send it up the inside. Unfortunately we didn't, and that has kind of led to him now settling into a rhythm, and he might just kind of pull away from us now, which is natural because it is a Ferrari and we are in a Alpine. He is on the hard tyre also though, so it's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye out on what kind of strategy he's going to do and what kind of strategy that we're going to do. I think, and I think we're going to confirm it right here, we're going to pit now because these are all like bottlenecked up with each other and all just kind of messing about. So we are going to come into the pit lane as we are really close to Antonelli, and we're going to go side by side into the pit lane. We are going to back out of that one though, because probably going to end up on the wall. But yeah, again, just similar to the Hajar moment, I wasn't expecting to gain that much time on him, and we've been held up in the pit lane by Antonelli himself. So karma for us for trying to, well, not exactly trying to overtake him into the pit lane. It just kind of ended up unfolding that way. But yeah, we have lost out now to Tsunoda. They obviously jumped us there with that slight little hold up. Our pit stop didn't look amazing either, just from that camera. It didn't look all that great. So yeah, not ideal. But I suppose when you consider, you know, we're in an Alpine and the cars we're trying to fight here, it's not too shabby. Now, I did see some debris go flying off there into turn 1, and I think Lance Stroll has driven straight into the back of Antonelli here because his car is not turning whatsoever. And as you just saw from that camera angle there, he is missing the whole right side of that end plate on that wing. So we're going to try and take advantage of this as Tsunoda has chosen the wrong line here. He's going to be stuck up behind. We're just going to steer in across Lance Stroll's nose. Zero care in the world. That could have gone dreadfully wrong. If he was slightly more ahead, that could have gone dreadfully wrong. But we do manage to get that move done. We do have a couple seconds just about on Tsunoda. Thankfully, for getting that move done in that moment, and him being stuck up behind Lance Stroll. It's given us a little bit of fresh air and a little bit of a gap just to see what we can do. I no doubt he's going to just stroll up onto us because, you know, it is a Red Bull. Obviously, I know it is Tsunoda in the end of the day, but it is still a Red Bull, and you know, you would have thought it will catch up to us quite easily. As we got Albon has come out right in front of us here with the cold tyres, so hopefully we can try and get him before he settles into any rhythm. But that wasn't to be on that lap, but onto the next lap. Look at the drive. We just got through that little chicane. The momentum that we just took through there was impeccable, and we are going to send it up the inside then on Albon. He did move over, you know, getting a little bit aggressive there with the defending, but it wasn't to be for him, and we do manage to get through then on Albon, who is still having, you know, a good race. By the time the rest pit here, we've got our teammate in the pit lane now, so he went a couple of laps longer than us. We went off the pit on lap 10, splitting it in the middle, 10-10 on both of them. He's obviously gone to lap 12, so we'll have to see where he goes to. Obviously was P16 and 17, so hopefully he's going to, you know, get up the order a little bit into, I don't think he's going to get into the points, but hopefully he can obviously make up a couple positions. But as you can see, our engineer is talking about our engine overheating, which is concerning, so we're slightly moving out of the slipstream and stuff of Antonelli, but we're going to try go for this move. Whether we're going to have the pace to stay ahead or not, I don't know, but we're simply going to just try go for this move just because of our engine temperature. And while the medium is slightly better than the hard tyre, we might as well just go for it and just see if it cools down the engine a little bit, because we don't want the engine to pop. That's the last thing we need after this drive that we've done here, which has been a very good drive. You know, we haven't overtook anyone, you know, with just jumping them in you know, the pits and like weird malarkeys and stuff, although we have had a couple people that have done 2 stops, so we have made a couple positions in that way. But you know, most of the overtakes have been on track, which has been amazing. And as we come on to the penultimate lap now, coming out the last corner, this has pretty much been what we've been doing pretty much since we overtook Antonelli. They cruised up behind us, which is a natural thing to happen, and we just kept sort of defending into the obvious kind of overtaking corners, or the only overtaking corners really around this track. As you know, this was the best moment really that Tsunoda got on us, as we do get up the inside again straight away. But that was pretty much the only kind of thing that happened in the last kind of quarter or so of the race. I can't really remember when we overtook Antonelli, but it was pretty much just this. We had the pace to stay ahead through this whole straight, due to our wings helping us out for sure, and then just tactically using the ERS just to kind of stay ahead here, because P7 from P16 is a great drive. These are very good points for the team, for the manufacturer. Obviously we're the only team on the grid, I believe anyway, unless Connor Motorsport has Renault engines. We're the only ones with the Alpine engines, so we need to work hard. We need to analyze everything and just try to be with these top guys and see how we can build a car which is going to be as good as them. But as you can see, Verstappen then has won this race, Norris second, and Piastri in third. Russell, a big loser in the Grand Prix. He was leading the first stint and he's ended up in 6th, so he may have done 2 stops possibly. And yeah, a bit of an interesting one. It's a hard one really with this track, the 1 stop and the 2 stop, because in my mind, because there ain't like many kind of real corners, I think, oh well, the tyre wear's not going to be that bad. So that's kind of why obviously we went for the 1 stop, mainly because of the car, but also because of that. But as you saw, driver of the day, that is definitely a deserved award, I would say. I think we drove really well in that Grand Prix. I know we had that little moment with Hajar, which may be a bit debatable, and then we had that moment into the pit lane with Antonelli, which wasn't a great moment either, but it wasn't that bad really. Nothing was intentional, nothing was malicious, and it was all good vibes as we look at the podium here with Verstappen and the Papayas. It's going to be a story that's going to develop throughout this season. Can this Red Bull driver, because his teammate pretty much doesn't seem to have the same kind of performance, obviously, as Verstappen, just like real life, can he go against both McLarens all by himself? It's going to be an interesting one to see how it develops, and can we maybe get into this fight? Definitely probably not in season 1 anyway, but can we maybe get this car up there and fight these top dogs and for wins and podiums at some point? In this race our pace was about a second and 3/10 off, I think that is. In terms of the battle between me and Gasly, he did manage to actually set a faster lap than us, which is slightly annoying, but in terms of what's really important of the performance and results, we obviously outdone him there. P7, 6 points, fantastic stuff, really good race, really enjoyed it. The car felt really good. I think next track, Japan, is going to be a different story. It's a totally different track, totally different layout. It's going to work completely different with the Alpine car. But I think the setup really helped us out in that race, and it was overall very enjoyable Grand Prix. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, because I certainly did, and especially some of those overtakes. But yeah guys, that is it then for episode 1. Episode 2 will be at Japan then for the Suzuka Grand Prix. Like I say, I think it's going to be a different story there. But yeah guys, I will see you with that episode very soon. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you with a brand new video very soon. Whew.